So I've currently got over 650,000 followers across a couple of niche pages on Instagram, and over the past few years I've gained millions for both myself through growing and selling, and also for clients. And in this video I'm going to break down exactly how you can build a niche page on Instagram in 2019 going into 2020. What's up guys, my name's Josh Ryan. I post 2 videos every single week all about Instagram, social media and making money online. So make sure you subscribe and smash the like button if you enjoy it. Also, if you want a little bit more information around Instagram, you can go grab my free ebook in the top of the description, and I'll also send you some emails with video updates. So go ahead and check that out. So I'm going to break this down into 3 main categories: niche, content and growth. So niche, the first thing you need to pick if you're going to grow a niche page is the niche. What is your content going to be all about? Pick something here that you're actually interested in. Don't just pick like the business niche because you see a lot of other people doing it. Pick something that you're genuinely caring about, because that way you're likely to have insider knowledge. For example, if I was looking at this, I enjoy football. I like football, proper football, not American crap. But I might make a page about football, and I know a lot about what's happening, about the games, about the players and so on, so I can be up to date and be current in that niche. Whereas if I made a page about basketball, I don't follow basketball, I don't know what's happening in basketball, and so I wouldn't have that insider knowledge. So create something that you're interested in, whether it be a sport, whether it be beauty and makeup, whether it be in the business or investing or finance niche, or a hobby or cooking, or literally anything that you're interested in. Chances are, even if only 0.1% of the planet enjoy it, there's like a billion people on Instagram. I don't even want to do the math somewhat. I mean, 1% of that is 10 million, so 0.1%, there would be over 1 million people that love it just as much as you do. That's enough to make a ton of money on Instagram. The one side note I will say is that if you go into a niche where you are not an expert but you are interested in, let's say you're talking about investing, finance, etc., make sure you keep it clear to people that you are not an expert and that you are in fact learning along the way. You should not, as a 16, 17, 18-year-old, go out there and create a page all about finance and investing if you've got $100 in the bank and you're telling other people how to invest their money. So one thing you also have to understand about niche is the more competition there is in a niche, the harder it will be to grow, because you're competing against more pages. If you're in a race against 100 people, it's going to be pretty darn hard to finish in the top 5. If you're in a race against 6 people, it's going to be pretty darn easy to finish in the top 5. Now, if you want to go into a saturated niche, whatever niche that might be, luxury, travel, business, etc., what I recommend is you find some sort of sub-niche which is not quite so saturated, and this is known as the blue ocean strategy. There's an entire book about this, but essentially what you do is, a red ocean is when there is an ocean, a lot of sharks in it, a lot of competition, and that bloodies the water. And you want to find a small niche or a small section of that which is entirely blue, no other sharks, no competition, and then you can have a lot more success a lot easier and faster. So for example, there is the niche business, there is the niche memes. They are both massive niches and incredibly hard to get into if you're starting from scratch without any expert insider information or money. And so what you can do here is, instead of trying to go into one of them, you could create business memes. And I've actually noticed these pages taking off recently, where it's like funny memes about finance or business or entrepreneurship. So that niche is actually starting to take off. There's not many pages doing it, but the ones that are doing it are doing very well because not many people are doing it. So try find that sort of thing. It doesn't have to be a combination of 2 niches like business memes. It could literally just be a way of reinventing content. It could be, instead of posting motivational quotes on TikTok, you make 15-second motivational videos, where it could be a compilation of people like athletes doing skills, and then you've got like a motivational speaker speaking as the audio or something like that. I don't know, create something, get creative. So number 2, we're moving on to content. Now there are 2 main types of content. There's created and there's curated. Now, creating content is when you have your own content. You go out there, you take some photos, or you get into Canva or Photoshop on your computer and you make something. That is your own content. Curated C-U-R-A-T-E-D, is when you find other people's content and you share it and you give them credit for creating it. And this is what I have done a bit of. A lot of the stuff was sort of like a mix where we take someone else's image, add our sort of taste on top of it, whether it be a quote or whether it be editing other pieces of videos, something along those lines. They're both great ways to get into. However, what I would say would be the best to go into if you're starting out is curating content. Now, the reason for this is it is super hard to create a ton of content if it's just your side gig. If you want to put in the time, or if you're very creatively inclined, go for it, go smash it. But if you're someone like me who might be fascinated by marketing, by finance, etc., but is not super creative, then you can curate content and you find other people's content that's doing really, really well, and you can share it and give them credit and help you grow. Now, what I would say is if you do this, once you do get to a certain level where you grow enough, I would hire someone to create your own content. Now, this might be the point where you start making money from it so you can afford it. I would hire someone to create your own content, because when it comes to building a brand, this is super important. However, at the end of the day, there are a ton of pages. Most meme pages are curating content. Most sports pages are curating content. Even most news pages are often curating content. They are resharing other people's articles. Bit debatable. Now, the reason this works so well is because the content creator gets like a free promotion to your audience, and you get really good content. So it's like a win-win situation for everyone involved. Now, the strategy that I do for this and the way that I make it work is basically I create my account, I pick my niche, I decide what content I'm going to be posting, and then I go out and follow like the best 20 pages in my niche, and I try and find ones that are like not super big, like maybe under 100k, but like creating unique content. And then the reason I do this is because if I'm sharing other people's content, I don't want to be sharing content that's being posted on an account with 10 million followers, because everyone in my niche has already seen it. I want to find content that's doing well on small pages that not many people have seen, so I can get a good piece of that viral traction. So, like I just said, I go out there and follow 20 or so pages under 100k, and then whenever I notice a post of theirs doing really well, I will either curate it or recreate it and post it, and if it's theirs, I'll give them credit for doing so, or if it's a famous quote, I'll give them credit for the quote. Now, I just want to say, and just really stress this point, if you are sharing other people's content, give them credit, and don't be that sleazy person that just whacks your logo over someone else's content. If someone's gone out there, spent the 5, 10, 20, 30, 60 minutes to create a piece of content, don't just screenshot it, post it, and give them nothing. Make sure you actually give them credit in the caption where credit is due. And if you do screenshot it, and just do not put your own tag over the top of it. I've seen so many people do this to me, literally where it says @MillionaireDream or @IncomeNotebook, they literally put their own over the top of it, and it is just sleazy, and it is so bad, and it won't help you build a brand. Don't be that person. Now, if you're curating content, you should be posting 3 to 6 times per day, because at the end of the day, content takes like 1 to 2 minutes per image to find, so you shouldn't be too worried there. If you're creating content, 1 to 2 a day is quite a bit. It just, I guess, depends on your workload and how much time you want to put in. Number 3 is growth. Okay, so now you've got your niche sorted. You're posting 3 to 6 times a day with some good content. And these tips here I'm going to give you are the icing on the cake. If you've done your niche badly, your content sucks, the best growth hacks will not help you. This is like the last thing that you want to focus on. You want to focus on setting up in a good niche, getting that content down pat, then you want to grow. So feel free to come back to this video, save it, and come back later once you're ready. So the main 4 drivers of growth will be hashtags, shares from your audience, Instagram TV, and cross promotion, as well as just naturally people finding your content. So on hashtags, I actually made an entire video about this, which I'll link down below, of how to crush it with hashtags. But essentially, use hashtags that are in that sweet spot that are between big enough to actually get you traction, but are not too big that you can't compete on them and get smashed every time. You want to find that sweet spot where maybe it's starting out, it's between 50k users and 500k users, and use 15 to 25 hashtags per post in that sweet spot. If you're ranking on every single one, you start using bigger ones. If you're not ranking on every single one and you're only ranking on 1 or 2, maybe use some smaller ones. Number 2 is shares, and this is all about creating content that is relatable and emotional and causes people to share it to their story, tag their friends, or even repost it. That's another great avenue to go down. So this, like I just mentioned, is about creating relatable content that's going to make people laugh. And the other way of doing it is literally just asking people to tag a friend, which is just going to boost the chances. If you post something and it's really funny and it's about your dumb friend maybe, or it's about your smart friend, and it's like tag your dumb friend, tag your smart friend. Great way to get a bunch of people to tag their friends. Or if you post relationship quotes, tag your partner, that sort of thing. Now this may seem small, but when done right, it is super, super powerful. Now number 3 is Instagram TV. Now again, I made an entire video about this, but make sure that the opening of your video is engaging and hooks the viewer in. Grab the attention of someone that would not already follow you. So if you want to go viral, basically you need good watch time, and most people get good watch time from their audience, but not from people who don't know them, and that's where the virality stops. They get shown to their audience loves it. They get shown to people who don't know them, they don't love it, so Instagram don't show it to anyone. If you can get people who don't already know you to watch your videos, boom, you will literally blow up. On top of this, make sure you use good hashtags and have a good thumbnail, and that's going to help you increase the amount of people watching it. And all around, that's basically as simple as it is. Consistently post them. If you're curating content, you can post like 1 to 2 of these a day. And number 4 is cross promotions. I just mentioned this earlier, but these are super, super powerful. Essentially, you find someone else in your niche that's slightly bigger than you, and they post one of your pieces of content, you post one of theirs, you both grow from it. So this is really a really awesome way to grow, and it's really, really scalable, and it'll give you a really nice boost. Literally just go out there, DM 10 to 15 people a day in your niche, 5 or so of them will reply, 1 or 2 might do it, and that gives you plenty of time to do. So that's about it. Pick a niche, curate good content, post 3 to 6 times per day, use the mentioned growth hacks, and if you do that for the next 3 to 12 months, your accounts are going to blow up. Now I know saying it's going to take you 3 to 12 months is not sexy, it's not going to want to get you to give me $2,000 for a course, but what it will do is it'll get you results. It's going to take time, and that is the honest truth. So if you stick at this consistently for the next 3 to 12 months, you'll get results. And if you want to get more results, feel free to download my free ebook, which is down below. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoy this content, and leave a like if you enjoyed the video, because that really does help me reach more people. It shows YouTube that you actually do like this video, and when you like it, they're going to show it to more people, and then hopefully they like it too, and then it gets pushed out to more and more people. But anyway, that's it for this video. I post twice a week about Instagram, social media, and making money online, so subscribe for that, and I will see you all later.